5 years ago, Thanos erased half of the population of the universe. But the people of this planet brought everyone back with a snap of a finger.
Titan was like most planets. Too many mouths, not enough to go around. And when we faced extinction, I offered a solution.
Genocide.
Jesus Christ, you don't know the rules? There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie. For instance, number 1, you can never have sex.
This Organized Chaos podcast is brought to you by Gems Art Studio. Gems Art Studio is an online store that allows access to prints that you can use for most anything, obviously as just a picture, or as a wallpaper, or as a bookmark, or anything you can think of. You can find Gems Art Studio at etsy.com/shop/Gems Art Studio. This podcast is also brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you.
All right, let's
Are we ready for Eternals?
Yeah, I'm a full disclosure. I did not have a chance to see this. Someone stole my bank card, so I was dealing with all this. So, Bob, why don't you tell me about Eternals?
Well, Eternals is kind of getting quite a reputation right now. It is currently the lowest ranking MCU movie on Rotten Tomatoes. So I went into this a little concerned. I was scared. So I went in, and I do have to admit that the beginning is not paced great. But I left the theater, and so far I would have to say this is my favorite of the MCU movies this year.
Okay.
It was definitely better than Black Widow and Shang-Chi, neither of which were bad, but they were kind of standard. This was something different, which I appreciated. Pacing issues a bit in the beginning, lots of characters to go through, but here's the good news. For the most part, I like all these characters. I would actually say the weakest ones, and I kind of hate saying this because they both have their reasons, but it's the leads. It's Cersei, played by Gemma Chan, and Icarus, as played by Richard Madden. But there are reasons. As for Cersei, she's essentially the new leader of the group throughout most of this movie. And I feel like they didn't write enough for that. Because there's a lot to write for that. Because she wasn't prepared for leadership. It was just kind of thrown on her. And they really didn't write much about that for her to do. And that there's a whole bunch to write about that. I don't know why they missed out on that. And as for Richard Madden, we'll get into that when we get into spoilers, but he plays things very close to the vest in this movie. But yes, we are talking about the Eternals. These are an ancient group of essentially superheroes, but they're kind of like gods too. It's kind of funny. I told my daughter after watching this, this felt like kind of like a modernized version of like a Jack Kirby's New Gods thing. I didn't know much about Eternals. Then after I told her that, when I go home, I look it up. And Eternals was what Jack Kirby wrote for Marvel after doing New Gods for DC.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we have these super powerful ancient beings, lots of which like mythologies and old gods and stuff like that. They're based on these characters. Angelina Jolie plays Athena, the goddess of war, who the people of Greece liked so much they named a city after her and named one of their gods after her. And of course they got it wrong, but you know, hey, close enough.
It happens.
Yeah. And
So real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah,
so real quick, I'm counting there's 10
Yes.
on there, correct?
Yes.
So that's 10 main characters?
2 main characters and 8 supporting. And most of which, I will say, this is a long movie. This is a 2-hour and 40-minute movie. Not for the faint of heart. I think it might be the second longest MCU movie. Next to Endgame only. That being said, once you're through probably the first like I said, it's a little sluggish at the beginning, but once you get past that little bit of sluggish part, it goes by fairly quickly. And by the time you're at the end, you're kind of invested with pretty much all the characters, with the exception of the speedster, Makari, I want to say her name is. She's the one that runs really fast, and they do pretty much nothing with her. She's just kind of there. And like I said, I wish they'd done more of Cersei. As far as the Richard Madden Icarus character, well, I said we'll get into it, and we will. But yeah, these ancient superheroes have been on Earth forever, and they've been sent there to fight deviants, and that's their sole mission. Or at least that's what they think. Ajak, who is their leader, as played by Salma Hayek. Let's see. I'm trying to think how I want to unfold this, because there's lots of twists in this movie, and one of the things I will say is the movie is actually fairly predictable. But, I don't know, it still is a good experience, because it's kind of crazy. But essentially, Ajak goes to Icarus. This is probably about midway through the movie, but looking at, like, if we were looking at, the movie just jumps around in time a lot. So this is like 2/3 of the way through the movie where we get what I'm talking about right now, but fairly early as far as raw story, probably before, like, the very beginning of, well, before we see the characters in modern day. Ajak, who's the leader, calls Icarus over to her, and she says, I'm going to rewind it a bit again, because there's a lot to unpack with this movie. There is.
Well,
I wish you'd
seems
seen
like
it so we could bounce a bit more.
Yeah. I'm sorry, bud.
But
this seems like a foundation, like, building movie.
Oh,
like,
yes.
That's kind of what I've gathered the most from, like, what I could. Like, since I didn't have a chance to get out to the theater, I did break my own protocol and, like, read plot synopsises.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it did seem like there was just a lot. Actually, let me see if I could pull it up here.
Yeah. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and go into what the Eternals really are. Because Ajak dies, her leadership ability and her ability to talk to the Celestials, who are their leaders, who they essentially get their orders from, that gets transferred to Cersei. And when she gets that ability, she's immediately caught up, talks to a Celestial. Oh my god. I'm terrible with that word, by the way. But, what we find out is that they are sent to planet that celestial seeds are sent to certain planets, and the Eternals are sent to that planet to defend those seeds, and from that seed, life springs. So obviously, that's supposed to be the origin of humanity and all that. And the Eternals' job is to guard that planet until the Celestial is ready to be born. And in case you're wondering, essentially the planet is like an egg. And when the Celestial is born, the planet just kind of destroys. And it's done. And why Ajak calls Icarus to her later is essentially she says, hey, when Thanos wiped out half the population, it really set back the Celestials because there has to be a certain amount of life on Earth for them to give birth. But then the heroes came together and really, like, they brought everybody back. And it was such a huge move that she'd never seen before. And she's like, we can't let this planet die. And going into the really big spoiler, Icarus is like, oh, wow, that's a lot for me to digest. And then they go over to this area where there are deviants, where I think he knew there were deviants. And she's like, oh, my God, how are there deviants here? And he's like, oh, well, they've been thawing out because they were frozen, but now they're thawing out. And then he drops her to kill her. So, in case you're wondering, big spoiler, Richard Madden actually is playing the villain in this movie.
Good.
Yeah. And,
Good.
And that's, that's why he's playing things close to the vest throughout this movie.
All right.
Let's see. But yeah, there's a lot lot more to talk about. Angelina Jolie's character, which I believe, I definitely brought her up earlier. She's has a issue where her mind is like collapsing on itself.
This was the character's issue?
Yes. Yes. I know, it gets confusing sometimes.
Sorry.
But, yeah, they're like, oh, well, I don't remember the name of the main celestial they talk to, which I probably should learn because I'm terrible with that name.
The Domo? Is it the Dome? No, it's a part of their spaceship.
It's
The Dome.
like that.
That's the spaceship.
Yeah.
Dane professes his love for Cersei. I'm trying to find it. I think I'm.
It is worth pointing out. There's two big firsts that this movie has. It has the first MCU sex scene. Not anything hot and steamy. This clearly Cersei and Icarus. They do get married and they clearly have sex. You don't see anything other than two people doing a thrusting motion.
Now we've seen scantily clad women get out of Tony Stark's bed before.
Yes.
And we've seen them fooling around.
Yeah, but I don't think we've seen anything to indicate like two people definitely having sex at that moment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You probably see more of the girl fooling around with Tony Stark in the first Iron Man than in this.
Yeah, that's the scene actually I'm thinking of. Where Miss Potts takes the trash out.
Yes.
Where at that scene I was like, okay, Gwyneth.
Mm.
Okay.
The other big first this movie has the first MCU gay kiss. And I'm not gonna lie.
Awesome.
I think this is like a litmus test. Because there's a couple of heterosexual relationships that the movie even has a sex scene in it. Between heterosexuals having sex. So there's lots of heterosexual representation. And just kind of minimal gay representation. It's there. Two guys. One of the Eternals has built up a life, and when we first see him, I think, oh, is that like a neighbor or a friend and his son? And you find out, no, it's his husband, and they're happy. And yeah, no, it's just his husband that he's there. They kiss before he leaves to go off on his mission, and that's it. That's all it is. They don't overplay it. It just exists. And it's kind of perfect, because the way it works as a litmus test is like, I have to say, if this representation bugs you, that's 100% on you. It's just just mild, and it's just there. And I kind of like how it's approached that way. It's there. No one really comments on it. It's just a thing.
It's just there.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of appreciate that they handled it that way.
That's good that they did, as opposed to like just like force feeding it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that Endgame scene.
Endgame,
yeah. The one with all of the female characters.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah.
They handled it a little bit better than that. Or way better than that.
Well, that's the thing.
That's
I'm 100% behind a scene like that in Endgame.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
absolutely.
It felt like a crazy coincidence. It just didn't feel natural. That is my only complaint with that. It's
where the last time I saw where they were in proxy to where Spidey was, it didn't make sense for them all to just magically show up there.
Yeah.
Considering I'm pretty sure Valkyrie was on the other side of the compound.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, they're all here now. Cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, that actually that's great. That's great. That's awesome.
But yeah, I'm trying to think. There's like I said, I thought it was a really good movie. I like how it's just weird, and it's kind of cool with that. It's like, here's some crazy comic book stuff about essentially gods, but they're kind of superheroes too. I dig that. Although there is one big storyline thing I want to bring up. The Kumail Nanjiani character, Kingo.
Okay.
He does a great job in this movie. But when Icarus is essentially revealed to be the villain, and, essentially Icarus is saying, I'm going to fight to make sure the Ascension happens and the Celestial is born and Earth is destroyed. And everybody else is like, no, we don't want that to happen. King O says, essentially, hey, I kind of agree with him, but I don't want to fight you guys, so I'm going to step out. And yeah, that's how he handles the final battle. He just steps out. I 100% felt that he was set up to essentially be the Piccolo of the situation, where at the last minute he comes in and saves the day from something they're about ready to lose, and he saves the day. Because he is actually one of the more powerful ones. But no, he just sits out the fucking final battle. And it was like,
he's just,
wow, really? Really?
All right.
And yeah, no, they actually talked to him after the final battle, and like everything seems cool. And I almost felt like it was a missed opportunity where it's like, he should have been like, hey, I saw you guys pulled out. Good job. And they're like, yeah, we did. And we didn't need you, and just walk away or something like that. This dude. I really felt like it was set up to do something with that, and they didn't, and I don't know why. We'll see what they do with it later, because this thing is definitely set up for sequels. It leaves on a cliffhanger. Yeah, it definitely leaves on a cliffhanger. Very comic book like, because you feel like you got like a whole like huge story arc with this movie, but of course the last few minutes it picks up on our cliffhanger just like a comic book would.
I see it hasn't quite made its budget back yet.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, it's actually doing decent.
Well, it's at 162 million according to Wikipedia.
That's really
time
good.
We're recording it, yeah. For a budget of 200 million.
Well, yeah, but
I mean, they're not bad. They're just like about $40 million off.
It'll make it, because it
It
hasn't
will.
been out that long.
It will.
But also...
It will. It hasn't. And, we have a holiday weekend, like a holiday season coming up. There's Veterans Day coming up.
Yeah.
People usually go to the theater on Veterans Day. They go out to eat and they go see a movie.
I also feel like movies haven't fully recovered from the pandemic.
No.
They're getting there.
They are.
The numbers are starting to go up, but yeah. But yes, Eternals was awesome. I largely liked the characters, some better than others. But yeah, it worked out really well. Some missed opportunities, but overall, fun movie. It was awesome.
All right.
But yeah, we also went ahead and watched one of the classics, I guess. It's not that old, but
It's really not, but it seems like it came out an eternity ago.
Well, you know what? There is 1 year that happened. Well, this movie is 3 years old, but
it is.
There was 2020 was one of those years.
Yeah,
and I believe 2020 is at least like 5 years at least.
Yes.
But yeah, we rewatched Infinity War because it is they do mention Thanos, not a lot, but fairly often in Eternals, so it seemed like fun to go back and check this one out.
Yeah.
And one of the questions I had was, does Thanos know about these Celestials? And is that why he wants to wipe out half of life? Because that would all of a sudden make a whole lot more sense.
Well, we're digging into the movie and the MCU itself. And I don't think that we ever got a clear answer as to why he was on the quest for it, other than just bloodlust.
Yeah.
Which is really what it seems like. That was just his purpose in life. Because, like, the first appearance we see of him is at the end of Avengers. And then we see him once again, I think, at the end of Thor. Or is it Guardians?
Well, I want to say his biggest role before this was the first Guardians, where he sits in a chair a lot.
Yeah.
And then I think he has a line at Age of Ultron, and then you just see his face for the first Avengers. I think that's it until this movie.
Yeah, we see him putting on the gauntlet in Age of Ultron. And yeah, and then other than that little kind of sub cameo at the end of Guardians 2? Or no, that's at the end of Ragnarok.
Well, yeah. Well, we don't even see him there. We just see the ship.
We see the ship, and that just takes us right into
Yeah, it moves right into this, which is awesome.
Or into Infinity War. Yeah, no, it was awesome. And like we still never see him acquire the Power Stone, which is something I kind of still wish that they did show.
Well, yeah, but they do show a lot.
Well, I mean, yeah, he throws a whole fucking moon at Tony Stark.
Yeah. But while I was theorizing that maybe he was trying to stop Celestials, which maybe he was, I am never going to make the argument that he's a hero. I know lots of people like to make that fucking argument. Dude wants to kill people. That's it.
It's genocide.
Yes.
No matter how you look at it, it's genocide.
You know, if he wants to stop Celestials, he could get that Infinity Gauntlet and snap a moon base and beam people to a moon base or something like that. He has options, especially with a fucking Infinity Gauntlet. He's going to get an Infinity Gauntlet and commit mass murder.
Hell,
that's
wielding
a fucking
2
monster.
stones, he has his yielding 1, he has his options.
Yes. Hell, he has the Space Stone. He can do a fucking lot with that one.
Yeah, was that the space he had right off the bat, or was it the power?
It was the power he had right off the bat. He got space from Loki, so that was the second one he got.
That's right. Yeah, he got it from the Tesseract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie's awesome.
Yeah, this movie's still really great.
Yeah, it's
like really great.
It's super exciting, super engaging. It does feel like one of those crossover superhero stories you get in comic books where you just get all the heroes kind of merging together. Just kind of shit's going down, and they just start collecting up in their own little groups and stuff like that. And it's so much fun. And
and you know, it's still I don't know. To me, I think this is just an idea, and I believe I texted this to you. Like, I think it would have been great if like the different directors of the different franchises kind of all did it, but as like, you know, Gunn directed the Guardians segments, and whenever, you know, Gunn was with the Guardians were with Iron Man, you know, it'd be, you know, Gunn and Favreau, their production team doing that. And if it's Cap and whatever Cap is doing, it's obviously the Russos.
Well, yeah,
they could write Cap all day.
Well, I believe it was mostly almost all but confirmed, not 100% confirmed, but James Gunn is very strongly rumored to have written the Guardians stuff in this movie.
Yeah, I feel that too, because it still felt like his style of writing.
Yes.
Even like all of it felt very Guardians like. Because I think it'd be hard to kind of emulate Rocket's talk and even him interact with Thor, like. And like, you know, like Rocket posing to be the captain.
Well, well, James Gunn has a very unique writing style and just how he does his characters, which I love. But it's very unique. It'd be very hard to copy. If somebody copied it, who are the screenwriters? I know these were It was Marcus McFeely and Christopher. Is that right?
I don't care. That still sounds like a pet name to me. Marcus McFeely. That totally sounds like a pet.
Marcus McFeely.
I mean, I know it's a real person.
Oh my god.
But that totally sounds like a pen name.
Well, it might be.
Or even like, you know,
I'm McFeely.
Well, I mean, it could be like, you know, a stage name, you know, or a performer name. Just how
I get it.
Just how, you know. Yeah, just how the world knows Hulk Hogan as Hulk Hogan, but his real name is Terry Bollea.
Okay, so it's not Marcus McFeely. It sounds hilarious now. The more I say it, it's getting funnier. Okay.
I mean, why am I picturing a little leprechaun?
It's Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely.
Wow.
Or it's Marcus McFeely.
Marcus McFeely, they just kind of like, you know, Cronenberg themselves into a monster.
They experimented with a transporter, and now they're Marcus
Their
McFeely.
new name is Marcus McFeely. It is now known as Marcus McFeely.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Look at that. We just rewrote The Fly.
Yeah.
On the fly.
Oh.
Hey,
Now, one thing I definitely wanted to bring up, in this movie, watching it this time especially, I found Star-Lord especially insufferable in this movie, this rewatch. I'm not sure what it was, because I've seen it before. and I know he goes through a lot in this movie. Thanos
Yeah,
fucks
he
with him
does.
and makes him think he kills Gamora, but even before then,
He's
pretty insufferable.
Yeah, like he kind of acts like a little kid when his friend is playing with his favorite toy.
Yeah, he's
Like, yeah, me too. I found him very insufferable this watch. Like,
it's like I don't understand what Gamora sees in him at all watching this movie. Like in the other movies, yeah, he's it's similar, but it's not nearly as bad, and you see more of him in the other movies.
yeah. I mean, like, I'll admit, the first half of Guardians 1, I found him to be that way,
Yeah,
and then he grew on me.
yeah. Well, that's part of
And,
it.
like-
He grows, you get used to him, and then
Yeah, yeah. And the second one, yeah, same kind of thing, but near like the midway point of it, it's like you're kind of whiny a little right now.
yeah.
You need to realize all the good you have around you,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't even feel like he learned that at the end of the movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely would bring that up because I remember watching this and just getting annoyed with him, being like, "Hey, didn't Chris Pratt get it kind of in trouble on social media for something super recently?"
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to fucking look it up, and I don't have the exact. It was an Instagram post where he's talking about how much it was super cringy. Talk about how much he likes his wife, his current wife, and how much he loves their healthy daughter. I believe it's a daughter.
And for giving him a daughter,
Yeah, no, for giving them a healthy daughter, he specified.
a healthy daughter.
And, and it was brought up, lots of people who have kids with disabilities don't like it. You feel a little hurt when you're bringing up specifically how healthy your child is. And it's like,
Yeah.
when I first read that, it's like, I get that. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like that big a deal to me. And then I read deeper. He has a child with a disability with his first wife, Anna Faris.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, it's like, wow, dude,
What a scumbag.
that is so fucking cringe. What the fuck, man?
I've followed Anna Faris for years on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know all about this. Yeah, and I'm happy to say I'm also somebody who said, well, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
You're awesome, and your kid is fucking awesome.
No, yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, man?
Yeah, like, as someone who grew up with, well, I mean, nothing's as severe as, what is it that his kid has a disability? What is it again? I want to say
I didn't see the specifics.
yeah.
It was something up with the birth.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. I didn't go into the specifics. I just was like, God, what a dick.
But I mean, it's nothing like I grew up just with learning disabilities, and even then, with the public school system, you get treated like a black sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And I just even publicly, I couldn't even imagine. I feel really kind of just boils my blood.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, a certain degree. That's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Like, what a dick.
Yeah. No, he is.
But don't worry, he's a Mario.
No, if we're ever playing the weakest link and we have a whole bunch of celebrity Chris's up there, and we have to decide who's the weakest link, is it Captain America, Thor, Captain Kirk, or Star-Lord? Star-Lord's fucking gone.
Star-Lord's gone.
I don't even care if he still has
It would be
celestial
like-
powers. He's gone.
Yeah, it'd be like, okay, Star-Lord, you're gone. Kirk, how are we getting out of this?
Yeah. Well, Kirk's too busy getting banged. He's not really gonna be helpful. Oh no, you're still gone, Star-Lord. No, you're still gone. I know he's useless, but you're still gone.
Cap, would you?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Also, I found myself while watching, because right after I watched this, I kind of couldn't help it to watch Endgame immediately after. And I did find myself saying the same thing I did in the theaters the whole time. Cap, language. Cap, language. There's children here.
Well, yeah, I do plan on watching Endgame and Apocalypse War again sometime soon. hints for a future video if you're listening. But yes, I don't know when that'll be, but that'll be coming up fairly soon.
Wait, the DC one?
Yeah, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War.
Yeah. Okay.
So that will be coming at some point.
DC animated films are on point, even if the story's weak.
I've heard really bad things about the new Injustice. I know I haven't been able to watch it because it's not on HBO Max, which I thought HBO Max would be getting all those.
Yeah, I thought that they had like a direct contract with DC.
So maybe they'll come later because they have like pretty much all the animated movies. Just not the newest one for some reason.
They even have, like, in my opinion, the greatest DC animated movie.
Which one are you talking about?
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint's good.
Flashpoint.
I like Dark Knight Returns more than Flashpoint.
Well, to be honest, out of all of DC animated fare, from like the launch of the DC animated studios before they made them for adults, it would either be the Mask of the Phantasm, or the follow-up one, not Sub-Zero, the other one about Mr. Freeze.
Was there another one about Mr. Freeze?
I think there was two. I know it's not Sub-Zero, or I might just be mistaking like the cover of Mask of the Phantasm.
I don't know. Mask of the Phantasm's fucking good,
Mask of the Phantasm. Yeah, that was great.
But we got that new Batman movie coming up, so maybe we'll discuss that one then.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, we got a couple months till then, but yeah,
I'm pumped about that too. So
that does look good.
It's Batman.
Yes. Matt Reeves is awesome, so I want to see what he does with it.
And I'm curious. I'm also curious about the villains, and I'm trying not to read much about them. But I think the only one I've heard confirmed is Riddler.
Yeah, Paul Dano. Yeah.
which I like Paul Dano.
I think I'll like him more as a villain because I think he's a very good actor, but I usually can't really stand him.
I don't know what it is. Seen Love and Mercy?
Is that's the Beach Boys one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one.
You still found him the same way?
Not as bad, but yeah.
Okay. You know who was awesome in that? Cusack.
Well, yeah, I was about to say John Cusack really stands out in that one.
Great. Yeah, he's really good. But, all right, but yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
We do have Infinity War, and this is kind of a classic. I think
it really is.
I think they took balls from to actually have the heroes lose, and
to kill the ones off that they did. Like, how are you gonna introduce Black Panther, have that impact that film made on society and culture?
Yeah,
and then the biggest culmination of all of these films leading up to fucking dies.
Yeah. It's like you have this huge movie with him in it, and then a couple months later, oh yeah, he's dead.
Oh, we're killing him off.
That's some fucking balls.
You like that kid? You like that kid?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That kid is gonna die too.
Yeah. Oh, did you guys think Baby Groot was cute dancing to ELO? Well, that's fucking dead.
Did you find his teenage dance hilarious?
Yes.
Well, guess what?
You know those heartstrings? We're gonna fucking pull on them. We're gonna.
Oh yeah, and he's gonna die right in front of Rocket.
Yes. In fact, I think Rocket's gonna have everybody he knows dies except Nebula.
Yeah, except Nebula. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll admit that scene with Rocket and Groot got me a little bit more this time. Mm-hmm. That's the one that got me. I was like, oh god damn it.
No, well, the ones that like always get me are Groot and Spider-Man. This Spider-Man just desperately not wanting to die, and you just see him slowly dusting away. It's like, oh god.
I was slowly fighting him back, and then they went to Titan, and I'm like, oh god, here it comes.
But of course, we also get Star-Lord getting dusted there, so I was just like, hey, I'm cool with that. And I remember even in the theater being like, oh, good. Yeah.
No, I even said, good.
No.
And Strange sucks.
Yeah. Mantis dies like, oh. Drax dies, oh. And then Star-Lord dies like, oh, you had it coming.
Good. Yeah, you hear the Mr. Stark? No, God damn you, no.
Mm-hmm.
That real lovable, adorable kid.
Mm-hmm.
Still, though, this one features is probably one of my favorite Stan appearances out of all of these first.
Oh, yes, he was the bus driver.
You kids act like you've never seen a spaceship
Yeah.
before.
You fucking new kids. Come on. Come on.
I mean, I'd say my second favorite is a Tony Stank.
Mm-hmm. Well,
It's just like...
I do have to say, talking about Stan appearances, I do have to say it was rather fitting that his last one was an Endgame, because that's a good one for your last one. And
yeah, and he looked young.
yeah, I like that they de-aged him and made him look young. That's nice.
Yep. When I rewatched it, I was like, there he is.
Mm-hmm.
Probably doing something similar to what he did in that time period too.
Yeah. I still have to say my favorite Stan Lee cameo. Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Yeah, that one was really enjoyable. No, I got it. Mallrats.
Well, does that even count as a cameo? He's borderline a supporting character in that movie.
Well, I mean, I'd say it's a cameo.
Yeah, it's really just one scene, but it's a big
Like,
scene.
Featured well, yeah, and he has a great monologue too.
Yeah. What was it? He was competing with Keith Richards.
Him and Jagger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him
Oh,
and
Jagger. It was Mick
in
Jagger.
competition to see who could get more girls. Last time I checked, I was way ahead.
Yeah, it's like, oh, sure, yeah.
I mean, if Stan had ever told me that, I would keep a straight face. I would have laughed.
Yeah.
Not at him, just more the fact that, wow, you're kicking Mick Jagger's ass, huh?
Well done.
Nice. So I guess it is true. He can't get no satisfaction.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. You just get rewatching it. You get reminded how good it is. You do end up wanting to watch Endgame when it's over. Which I did not do because I went hardcore. I'm holding off.
I wanted to see him go for the head.
Yeah.
I'll admit it.
It's kind of an empty satisfaction, but there is a satisfaction to that moment.
It is, and I did think about stopping it right there, going, all right, I feel better now.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I need resolution. All right.
Yeah.
But I tried to see if there was stuff that I didn't pick up on last time. And still trying to hear that because this one featured Thanos a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So I figured, okay, I could use this to see if I pick up any trace of dialogue about him talking about it. But no, he just kind of really just self-promoted himself and, like, grandstanded like a Bond villain most of the time, especially near the end. And I'll talk about that when we talk about Endgame. But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
But no, Infinity War, yeah, it was still really great. And I mean, like you said, it was just great to go back. And it is kind of like all these different, heroes all coming together for one thing. So there was just so much that was just really awesome. And I genuinely enjoyed so much of it. And I kind of didn't realize how much I appreciated this. I appreciated it this time a lot more. Is just how kind of Cap had zero fucks talking to General Ross.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of that. It's like, yeah.
That whole back and forth there, I kind of just really appreciated that so much more. How Rhodey's like, yeah, I'll arrest him. Hands up, beeps, and that's a court-martial. It's good to see you, Cap.
Yeah, Rhodey doesn't even give two fucks.
Yeah. And he's just like, yeah, look what doing nothing got us.
Yeah.
Look at my legs. And he's just like, no, Ross, you're an idiot. You need to let us handle this our way.
Yeah. Yes. But Ross sucks. That's a general.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of can't wait for his character to die.
Yeah. No, he lives forever. Didn't you know that?
Yeah. But who is that? That's William Hurt.
Yeah, it's William Hurt.
Yeah, and he's fucking great. So.
Oh, yeah. He's actually popping up quite a bit as Ross. He was in Black Widow.
He was, and he was also in well, obviously Hulk, but I want to say Iron Man 2. I know he's at
No.
the end credits. So no, I'm pretty sure he's in an Iron Man, or at least in an end credits
No,
scene.
but Iron Man is in the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, he is. He comes in and he talks to
Yeah.
Ross. Yeah, at the end of Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Why don't we just make a deep fake and just put Ruffalo's face over Norton's?
I know. Well, you get so many people online that talk about how Norton was the best, and it's like, I like what Norton does, but I love what Ruffalo does. Ruffalo honestly feels like an extension of Bill Bixby from the original series.
He really does. Really does. And there were times, even with Ang Lee's Hulk, where I could tell that Bana was trying to channel that.
Yeah.
And he did an all right job.
Mhm.
I just don't feel that Bana was the right actor for it.
Yeah.
And Ang Lee is certainly not the right director.
No, I want to stress that one of the things Ang Lee's Hulk has going for it is that cast.
Is the cast.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Eric Bana is really giving it his all. I don't know
And
how I feel about him versus Norton. I definitely like Ruffalo's the best of the Hulks.
Yeah.
Though.
And I'll be honest, 50% of the time, I can't stand Jennifer Connelly, but I enjoyed her in that.
Yeah, no, she was great. And I thought Sam Elliott did a great job with Ross in that. Because he balanced it with being just this awful piece of shit, but also somebody who really cares about his daughter. He balances that perfectly.
He conveyed that very well. And Hurt did an amazing job at that, too, because...
I was about to say, Hurt doesn't get as much a chance to explore that.
He kind of has more of just the revelation that he realizes that, he's just protecting my dog. He's protecting Betty.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. He's protecting her.
Yeah.
And he has that moment. He's like, my God, what have I become?
Mm-hmm.
And he realizes that he's kind of a monster. But that not enough for him to change his moral compass, though.
Yeah.
But, he does know that he's a monster, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sam Elliott, no, he had such a command on the screen, and it's criminal that man does not get as much work as he should.
Yeah, he does all right. I think he does all right.
He does all right, yes.
He got a nomination not that long ago for A Star is Born. Completely fucking overrated movie. I couldn't stand that movie, but he was great in it.
Is it better than the original?
I have not seen the original.
It has Chris Christopherson and Mecha Streisand.
All I want to say is if it's anything like this one, I have no interest in watching it.
Or no, it doesn't have that. I forget. I think that has Barbara in it. I'm not sure.
There's been several versions.
Yeah, I think there's one that has Babs in it.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's one that is pretty much the story of the coal miner's. No, that's the coal miner's daughter.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm getting my movies mixed up.
It happens.
It does.
It has those old actors in it. Whatever.
Especially with the 70s films.
Yeah.
But this one, yeah. And I don't know, a lot of it did kind of bum me out a little bit watching it because, realizing that, I do enjoy these actors in these roles.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a lot of them aren't returning to the roles, or they've retired from the role. Or,
yeah.
Like Downey and Chris Evans, they're not returning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not even in a voice capacity.
Yeah.
Now, I've read some. I remember reading that Chris Evans is still interested in working with Marvel.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that's through charity stuff. I'm sure he'll put the suit on and do charity stuff.
For sure.
Yeah. Because he was even all about the kid stuff, and when he got cast, he had a cheap store bought Captain America outfit that he would go to the children's hospitals.
Mm.
I think that he's an awesome guy.
No, the little bit I've seen of him, he seems like a really cool guy. So, but yes, Infinity War, awesome. Oh yes, and does the little bit I want to bring up because I brought up at the beginning, Thanos. Does he know about the Celestials, and is that why he's trying to reduce the population? I don't think he does in the MCU, but it's worth noting in the comic book that Thanos, his heritage is half eternal, half deviant.
Yeah.
So in the comic books, he would definitely know about that shit.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll rework it in later.
Yeah, and I believe in the comics he was trying to seduce the goddess Death.
Yes, in the original Infinity Gauntlet story.
Yeah.
That was his motivation. He wanted to show off how he could kill like half the population. He wanted to impress her with that. And of course, she wasn't impressed. And yeah. It's different than the movies, and they're both fucking awesome.
And then Nebula had to come in there and start fucking some shit up.
Well, Nebula is fucked up until she happens upon a moment.
Yeah.
But yes, Infinity War. What we have up next? Scream?
Yes.
I want to go ahead and add some audio credits at the end here. The theme music you're hearing at the beginning and end of this podcast was written and performed by George Johnson, a very good friend of mine. And my current Patreons are Fel Martins, David Lara, and Lindsay Pankhurst. If you'd like to become a patron, go ahead and follow the link down below. Anything you can provide would be incredibly helpful to this channel. We're barely limping by right now. I'd love to make this my full-time job. I'm miles away from that right now. So any help you could provide, just $1 a month would be amazing. You know you want to. All your friends are doing it.